Hey guys, we are back here with Sharath, who was with us on the podcast when I was not on YouTube, which was October 2021. And after a long delay of 5 months, we're back with our favorite Tamil songs, part two. That's four, sorry, two. So, before we start going into the songs, do you want to tell us if you picked them according to a theme or you just went with the flow?
To be honest, I was still juggling between a lot of songs, so I was very skeptical as to which one to pick, which one would make it to the list, and all of that. It just went with the flow, with the mood I was in. So we'll look into the songs just a few more minutes.
Okay, sure. So I'll start. The song is actually from Bahubali. It was the second part, yeah. So it's the Vandai Ayya song, which I'm guessing maybe the lyrics fit better in Telugu, but since I don't understand, I don't listen to it much. But the Tamil one, I picked it because it's one of those movies that I always wished, before Bahubali came out, I always wished there was this Indian epic. I'm not talking about RRR. I sadly did not like it. But Bahubali sort of managed to pull off that emotional manipulation in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, you know Sivagami is going to do this. You know she's going to say something stupid, but you still fall for that emotion. And I think Vandai Ayya is pivoting around that. And also for the fact that it's not making it melodramatic. It's not saying, oh my God, like, this is going to be sad from here on. It's kind of like a revival song. And I like the lyrics, especially. I don't know if I can sing as well as the previous time. And since we both got really good feedback, I have this pressure on me to sing well now.
Right. Go ahead. Go for it. I'm excited.
So it goes. நீ வீற்றிடும் தோரணையாலே பாறைகளும் மரியாசனமாய் உன் பேரை தம்மில் தாமே செதுக்கிடும் கல்வெட்டாய். So it basically means, a good king doesn't need a palace. Wherever he goes, he is able to do justice by the people. And it did give me emotional goosebumps. And I'm really glad that I watched it in the theater as soon as it came out. I do wish, recently they did the Godfather reruns because of I think it was some anniversary. So if they do that for Bahubali, I'm going to be there just to experience this thing, that Dolby Atmos thing.
Right. Nice. I mean that's a perspective I didn't go for. Do you want to sing the main line, Vandai Ayya, maybe?
Oh yeah. மேற்கை ஏற்காதே வீழும் சூரியனே தர்மம் தோற்காதே ஆளும் காவலனே கசிந்திடும் கண்ணீரை திரும்பின செய்யா வறண்டிடும் நெஞ்சத்தில் மழையென பெய்யா. The next part is very fast, so I'll just stop there.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I really wish you had sung a little more. But anyways, that's a good song actually. Any idea who the music director is?
Keeravani, who is actually related to Rajamouli.
Oh, all right. I think Keeravani has composed a couple of Tamil albums as well. If I'm not wrong, the movie called Alagan, Mammootty and another heroine. There's a famous song, right? You remember the song? Okay, I'm not getting it now, but it's a very beautiful old song, Mammootty song, but it's a Tamil movie called Alagan. Alagan is the movie's name. So yeah, I think that was also composed by Keeravani. So amazing. And now even Triple R, song composed by Keeravani. Nice. I think we need to explore more of Keeravani's songs.
True.
மேற்கை ஏற்காதே வீழும் சூரியனே தர்மம் தோற்காதே ஆளும் காவலனே. மேற்கை ஏற்காதே வீழும் சூரியனே தர்மம் தோற்காதே ஆளும் காவலனே. கசிந்திடும் கண்ணீரை திரும்பிட செய்யா வறண்டிடும் நெஞ்சத்தில் மழையென பெய்யா. ஆழ்மனதில் சூழும் இருளை நீளும் துயரை பாடும் விதியை நீக்கும் தீயே நீ ஐயா. வந்தாய் ஐயா வந்தாய்
nice.
So over to
Cool.
you.
Nice way to start. Nice song. Very motivational way, I would say. Okay. Anyways, let's go with mine. Okay. So to talk about the list I have, right? So last time I remember calling myself a Pradeep Kumar Kani. So
Yes.
this time I'm going to give the Kani title to Ilayaraja. I'm an Ilayaraja Kani today, right? So most of my songs are from the 80s and 90s, composed by Raja. Cool. So this is so when you think of Ilayaraja, you usually your mind sort of draws towards those 80s and 70s, sort of, and early 90s maybe, that semi-color movies and all of that, Kamal, Rajni and all of that. So this is a song. It's a Vijay song. It's a Vijay song composed by Ilayaraja. It's from the movie called Kannukul Niravu. It's from 2000. 2000 was the year it was released. And it's a very nice song. I'm sure a couple of us would have sort of listened to this, but it was composed by Ilayaraja. That's the fun fact. Cool. So it's called Nilavu Paattu. It's a beautiful song. So let me just try singing, small part of it. கனவுகள் வருவது விழிகளில் விருப்பமா, கவிதைகள் வருவது கவிஞனின் விருப்பமா, குயில்களின் இருப்பிடம் இசையால் அறியலாம், மலர்ந்திடும் மலர்களை வாசனை சொல்லலாம், குயில்களும் மலர்களும் அதிசயம், கனவுகள் கவிதையும் ரகசியம், நிலவு பாட்டு ஓர் நாள் கேட்டேன், மூங்கில் காட்டில் நாளும் படித்தேன். Yeah, that's the song. I know my throat is sort of messed up, but still,
No, it's
I really
not.
right. When you talk of Ilayaraja and his songs, you usually think of the typical conventional instruments being used and all of that, but this has that electro touch to it.
Oh.
So I would suggest you to sort of listen to this later, and obviously anyone watching this or listening this, please go give it a shot.
Oh, I think I recognize the Nilavu Paattu, that part of the song from. I've heard it before. Yeah. Hey, I have a
Let's
question.
move on.
And I have because you told me you've chosen like most of Ilayaraja songs, or you've based it out of him.
Right.
There was this I think film companion video that I was watching where Bharadwaj Rangan said his favorite era of Ilayarajism is from the 80s, like I think 1978ish, and he literally says that's when Raja was wearing like baggy jeans and smoking something weird, and he was just being himself. He was not trying to be melodic. Right. He was not trying to fit into any definition of a song. And do you agree with that? Or if not, why not?
Well, I'm not really sure. I'm not really aware of that side of Raja, the side which Bharadwaj Rangan described. But talking of Ilayaraja's music, I think I'll have to agree with Bharadwaj in this, because 1980s, I think the late 70s and the entire of 80s is when you can find the best of Raja's songs. Not just songs, be it background scores or even independent albums like How to Name It or nothing. But when it was all during the 80s, of course 90s also we do have a couple of masterpieces, but we had this storm come in. You know what storm I'm talking about. So there are two people, right? 2-3 people coming behind up. So you. I think exactly. Talking about. So yeah, definitely 80s is what 80s is definitely the era when we had the best of Raja. But I think I'm very curious to know about the baggy pan and smoky side of Raja. I think I'll need to watch that video and look at the comments to see if I can find something.
நிலவு பாட்டு ஓர் நாள் கேட்டு, மூங்கில் காட்டில் நாளும் படித்தே, அந்த இசையின் ரகசியம் இரு உயிருக்கு புரிந்தது, இங்கு யாருக்கு தெரிந்தது, இசையில் கலந்து மிதக்கும் தென்றலே, இசையின் மகளை பார்த்ததில்லையோ, நிலவு பாட்டு ஓர் நாள் கேட்டு.
Okay, so we'll move on to the second song I have chosen, and it's actually from the movie Rhythm. And a little background into all of the songs that Rahman composed for this movie is that Vasant and Rahman thought it would be innovative to choose one natural element or element of nature for each song. I'm sure you would be aware of that. So, for example, there is Patikichi Patikichi, which is for fire. But my favorite song out of the album is actually Kala Kalavana. And it's not even any of the lyrics. The lyrics is also really good. But it's just the violin that begins the song. Like, it's transcendental, to say the least. And so I cannot sing it, but I'll be adding it in this video when I edit it. It's, whenever I listen to it, I imagine Rahman standing in between. Like, I don't know how many violins he used, but in my imagination, it's like millions of violins around him. And it literally, I don't know, it feels like an embodiment of the sky, which is the element that they chose for that particular song. So yeah, I don't want to sing it because it's, I think, a Sadhana Sadham song, and I don't want to assume that I can do that. So
right.
So,
but definitely, I think that's again my favorite song from the movie. So Kala Kala is, I mean, it starts with that Anbe, and then the orchestration comes in.
Oh God,
Okay, now I'm very much tempted to open the song and listen to it. But I think I'll do it after the.
And I'm very jealous of that. I don't know how old I was. I think 3 or 4 years old. And I went to the theater. My dad is a movie buff, so I went to the theater to watch it. I'm very jealous of that version of me who got to listen to that in that. Maybe we didn't have Dolby and Atmos and all that, but that setup.
Absolutely. And what do you think of Rhythm's background score? Do you like it?
I don't remember much of the background score. Yeah, I don't remember much of it.
Because it's much of it's more like a love it or a hate it kind of BGM.
Okay.
So
then I think I love it because I don't have a strong bad opinion about it.
No, I'm sure you will fall under the love it category. Like
yeah.
But yeah.
But I even love the movie. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is it has a very peculiar BGM, not the regular Rahman kind of score. So it's a very interesting piece. You must listen to. Anyways, cool. Let's get going with my song. So again, my next song is from Ilayaraja, the 80s smoky baggy pant Ilayaraja. Okay, so cool. So this song is called Un Parvayil Orayiram. I know it's a very famous song. It's a beautiful song. It's from the movie called Amman Kovil Kirakale, and it was sung by my favorite, all-time favorite singer, Yesudas, KJ Yesudas. So he has a very soothing voice, a single type voice with hardly any variation. But I think that's his USP, right? So I just love his voice, and it was sung by Yesudas and Chitra. So I'll probably just try singing a couple of lines from it. Yeah. All right. அசைந்து இசைந்தது வலைக்கரம்தான், இசைந்த இசைதெல்லாம் புது ஸ்வரம்தான், சிரித்த சிரிப்பொலி சிலம்பொலிதான், கழுத்தில் இருப்பது வலம்புரிதான், இருக்கும் வரைக்கும் எடுத்து கொடுக்கும், இருக்கும் வரைக்கும் எடுத்து கொடுக்கும், மனதை மயிலிடம் இழந்தேனே, மயங்கி தினம் தினம் விழுந்தேனே மறந்து இறந்து பறந்து தினம் மகிழ உன் பார்வையில் 1000 கவிதை நான் எழுதுவேன் காற்றில் நானே நிதமும் உன்னை நினைக்கிறேன் நினைவினாலே அணைக்கிறேன் உன் பார்வையில் 1000 கவிதை நான் எழுதுவேன் காற்றில் நானே. I think it was a bit long, but
no, that was awesome.
It's a very lullaby kind of song to me, at least. So there's this called Sleep Time Ilayaraja songs on YouTube. You'll find a lot of. I think if you talk of sleep time songs, this will always top my chart of Ilayaraja's lullaby. It's one of my favorites, and mainly because we have my favorite singer singing it. That's why.
Okay. Cool.
இசைந்து இசைத்தது புது ஸ்வரந்தான் கழுத்தில் இருப்பது வலம்புரிதான் இருக்கும் வரைக்கும் எடுத்து கொடுக்கும் மனதை மயிலிடம் இழந்தேனே மறந்து பறந்து தினம் மகிழ கவிதை நான் எழுதுவேன் காற்றில் நானே.
Yep. Let's probably move on now.
Okay. So I actually forgot what I chose as number 3, but it's in no particular order. So I actually wanted to talk about the song called Male Neram from Anirudh, which I don't think, I've not watched the movie from start to finish, but I don't think it features in the movie itself, but it's part of the album. And it's sung by Andrea. And it's kind of like it's raining and you want to feel like the main character, you know what I mean? And you have like this hot cup of tea and you want to stand on the window, like near the window and just look out, I don't know, meaningfully or whatever. I think I've not actually seen many other songs where Andrea was able to pull off as many octaves as she pulled off in this. So she has a very bass, like almost like kind of a tone and like a high pitch in the same song. And the song is kind of, it has this bittersweet vibe of breaking up with someone, having that yearning to getting back with them, but also questioning whether you can actually pull it off by yourself and just move on. And I think my favorite part of the lyrics is வாசலில் ஒரு முறை நீயால் வந்தால் என்ன நான் கேட்கவே துடித்திடும் வார்த்தை சொன்னால் என்ன இருமனம் சேர்க்கையில் பிழைகள் பொறுத்து கொண்டால் என்ன. So yeah, that I felt it was really meaningful and I listened to it a lot. Whether I'm sad or not, I like to feel like the main character in the song, and I do. But yeah, it doesn't fit into the context. Yeah, sorry.
No. I said it's very common to sort of relate to songs and relate to the main character.
Yeah.
And, sort of. Great. It's a beautiful song again. I think it was GV, right? GV Prakash, if I'm not wrong. Right. GV is one. How do you call him? He's a gem, but I don't know how when the gem sort of becomes bright, but he's definitely a gem.
I just wish he'd come back to composing and not anything else.
Composing regularly, rather. That's the right thing to do.
True. Do you know if he composed for his recent movies, Jail and all that?
He did. I think he composed for Bachelor.
Okay, that song Adiye was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
மாலை நேரம் மழை தூறும் காலம் என் ஜன்னல் ஓரம் நிற்கிறேன் நீயும் நானும் ஒரு போர்வைக்குள்ளே சிறு மேகம் போலே மிதக்கிறேன் ஓடும் காலங்கள் உடனோடும் நினைவு இதுதான் வாழ்க்கையா, ஒரு துணைதான் தேவையா, மனம் ஏனோ என்னையே கேட்கிறதே.
Nice song, actually. Nice album. So he still has that physical thing in him. So he needs to get back to mainstream composing, I feel.
True.
Yeah. Nice. That's a beautiful, I would say a very melody vibe that you just set.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. So moving on to my next song. So we'll give Ilayaraja some rest. We'll go on to the new gen musicians. Not really new gen. It's Haris Jayaraj. Again, one of my favorite musicians. I would say he's the real underrated musician rather. People call Yuvan underrated. People call Vidyasagar underrated. Of course, Vidyasagar is definitely underrated. But I think the OG underrated composer is Haris Jayaraj. I just feel he just got a little overshadowed with Rahman and stuff like that. But I'm sure he has a lot of beautiful songs. So quickly talking about Haris, right? So you remember we had this Tamil vibe videos where, you know, we edit random videos and a song comes in and then the character sort of vibes. Okay, so this was a meme trend, right? It was about 2 to 3 years back. So I just feel Haris has a lot of a vibey sort of peppy collections, right? So I used to think, so if let's say a company or let's say an IT company were to be run by Tamil musicians, Haris would be given the title of CVO, Chief Vibe Officer. So he's definitely the OG vibe guy. He's the vibe man of Tamil cinema. Right. All right. So I've picked this song. It's called Iruviri Unadu. I'm sure all of us know this song from Minnale, his very first album, which was a super hit. So the reason why I picked it, so the album is definitely great. All the songs are, you know, pretty good. Vasigara or, you know, Venmadi Nil or anything, right? But I think this was not. So this sort of emotes a very different sort of feeling and. You know, comparing other songs of Haris and comparing this, I think this was a little unique, and it's not a lengthy song, right? It's just 1.5 minutes long, so it's one of my favorites. So I'll just try singing a couple of lines. நாட்கள் நீளுதே நீ எங்கோ போனதும் ஏன் தண்டனை நான் இங்கே வாழ்வதும் ஒரே ஞாபகம் ஒரே ஞாபகம்.
Beautiful.
That's it. I'm not singing the entire It was sung by Devan Ekambram, if I'm not the one who sung Unbeloved. So very beautiful. Yeah, that was my third song from the Chief Vibe Officer.
Actually, I've heard Gautam Menon himself saying that Iruviri Unadu, despite being the shortest song, despite not even being choreographed or any of those type of songs, being sort of an embodiment or the vibe of the whole movie. I think he plays more importance to that particular song.
Yeah, which explains why I call him the Chief Vibe Officer now.
Before vibing was cool, guys.
Exactly. Trendsetter Haris, my man.
இருவிழி உனது இமைகளும் உனது கனவுகள் மட்டும் எனதே எனது இருவிழி உனது இமைகளும் உனது கனவுகள் மட்டும் எனதே எனது நாட்கள் நீளுதே நீ எங்கோ போனதும் ஏன் தண்டனை நான் இங்கே வாழ்வதும் ஒரே
my next song is actually written by Vignesh Selvan, and I'm not really a big fan of his other lyrics, but this one I think now has become a poster song for Vicky and Nayan, because people relate back to that time and think that he wrote it for her, maybe, which he did. But it has beautiful lyrics. It's called Kannana Kanne from Nanu Raudida, which again is a very beautiful album by Anirudh.
Okay.
I think it's much better than, actually that same year, I think for Filmfare, both Rahman and Anirudh were nominated for Best Composer. And they played a video where Rahman was like, I prefer if the new generation composers are given the recognition, but I did think that Nanu Raudida originally deserved that Filmfare. So my favorite lyrics, and I have a personal connection to this because I was in college one day and I was very sad and I was crying, and I still remember a friend of mine sang this to me, not in any romantic undertone, but this particular lyrics. And it goes...
Okay, I think I know what part of lyric you're referring to, but let's see.
So it goes, Kadalala pola kal tottu urasi, kadalula poravana illadi, kadalvana pola kaloda otti, karathandum varana irpenadi, kannana kanne nee kalangadadi, yen uyiroda aadharam needanadi. So yeah, that obviously
Amazing.
It's a song that many women felt. You can even see on the YouTube comments that they wished somebody sang it to them. So yeah,
I think the real hero of this song would be Sean Roldan, in my opinion. He has an amazing voice and he just stole the show, I think. And surprisingly, I had this song on my list, and I fortunately or unfortunately put it. So that.
But what's your reason for picking the song?
But a reason for
picking the song? Is it just Sean Roldan, or reason for picking?
No, so I felt I didn't look at Anirudh's collection at all, right? So I started looking at Anirudh's song, and Nanu Raudida is one of my favorite albums from Ani, right? Apart from VIP and all of that, but still. And in Nanu Raudida, I think my favorite is obviously Kannala Kanne. So which is why I picked it, and I sort of like the starting point, the starting lyric, right? I know I'm messing up the lyrics, but that's what I'm referring to. I just like it, and I think Sean Roldan or a voice, it's sort of mesmerizing, at least in that particular part of the song. Cool. No, I'm tempted. This is the second song I'm tempted to listen after this podcast. Thanks to you.
ஒரு கணம் ஒருபோதும் பிரிய கூடாதே, என் உயிரே நீ அழுக கூடாதே, நீ கண்ட கனவெதுமே கலைய கூடாதே, நான் இருக்கும் நாள் வரைக்கும் நீ அழுக கூடாதே, கிடைச்சதை இழக்கிறதும் இழந்தது கிடைக்கிறதும் அதுக்கு பழகிறதும் நியாயம்தானடி, கொடுத்ததை எடுக்கிறதும் வேற ஒண்ணு கொடுக்கிறதும் நடந்ததை மறக்கிறதும் வழக்கம்தானடி, கண்ணான கண்ணே நீ கலங்காதடி, என் உயிரோட ஆதாரம் நீதானடி, கண்ணான கண்ணே நீ கலங்காதடி, யார் போனா என்ன நான் இருப்பேனடி.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and since we were both talking about something that we love so much, which is Tamil music, we just kept talking and it crossed an hour. So this particular one, I'm not putting it as episode 1.5 as a continuation of the one from the podcast, and the rest of it I shall put it up as part 2. So stay tuned, and here are some bloopers. Kadalala pola kal tot. Wait, how does it go? Wait, idu na cut panikiren.
All right.
அந்த லிரிக்ஸ் தான் நீ மீன் பண்ணியா?
இல்ல நான் வந்து அந்த விரல் நசங்குறனா அது ஸ்டார்டிங் அது நான்.
But I think it features a lot of octaves, which I think many other... Okay, I'll restart the sentence. I'll cut this out. Yeah, so